Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have quite the video for you today. This is legitimately like one of the most insane things I've seen recently, and sometimes, when there are rumblings in the sector, we have to talk about it. And this is the Schizo meltdown of a fellow YouTuber, a content creator he's got a big channel. I mean, he's been around for I think over 10 years. It is Whatifalthist. His real name is Rudyard Lynch, and he has an alternative history channel. He's been on Tim Pool's show. And his channel is like alternative history, but it's also kind of geared towards men, I guess. He's one of those special boys, right? We've talked about him before on the channel. He thinks he's very smart and very clever, and he clearly has some kind of uh, autism, Asperger's. He's obviously on the spectrum and probably taking some kind of stimulant for that, for his mental issues. And he's one of these people, though, that thinks they can just like spew nonsense very rapidly and say it with confidence, and that makes them right. So that's basically his shtick. But he's gotten weirder and weirder. And, he's predicted things like, oh, there's going to be a civil war. He predicted an incel revolution, very oddly, and then he put out a manifesto. Well, he one-shotted himself with ayahuasca is what happened, and then had a serious psychotic break. So I want to talk about it because there's definitely a moral to the story here. And I'm just warning everybody that it's going to get very weird and very disturbing. He put out a 3-part, I guess you would call it like documentary series monologue about himself. And he made some very, very dark allegations. And he intimated that he, is a victim of very serious childhood abuse. So he probably has PTSD, and he talks about, he doxed family members. He said some crazy stuff, to be honest, and we're going to go over some of this, but I'm just warning in advance that it's going to get weird. So there you have it. All right, so he put out those videos, and he made a big post on Twitter because he did the ayahuasca, and he felt like he had conferred with God, the devil, Odin, and that they instructed him to create basically like a new religion. So he's making like a cult, and I think he called it like the Order of the Order of the Crimson Dragon. Very odd stuff. So I'm just gonna read the tweets that he put out, and I'm just gonna tell you it's gonna get weird. He says, "Hi everyone, I have to tell you folks something. I am a quite advanced mystic and am capable of communicating with the spirit world. If you ever wonder why I know so much and am so successful at the age of 23, this is part of the reason. Like the levels of narcissism are off the charts. And I just want to state, though, that they were there before the ayahuasca. This is something that this guy has. It's clear if you watch any of his videos, if you listen to him or watch interviews with him or debates that he's done, it is very clear that he is somebody who has like a main character syndrome, the special boy syndrome, as we like to call it. So that was there prior to this. This just made it worse. Like, you're gonna see delusions of grandeur at an industrial scale, at a scale that never has been seen before, at least recently, on the interwebs. He says, I have a photographic memory, X to doubt, buddy, and have used this to have hundreds of hours of communication with different spiritual forces, whether God, the devil, Mother Nature, Hermes Trismegistus, the anima, and many more. So, right off the bat, he is telling you that he has devoted hours to conferring with demons. That's not God that you're talking to there, buddy. And you're not talking to Mother Nature either, or Hermes, or whatever other nonsense you conjure up in your imagination. You are speaking to demons. He says, I have a pretty good map of the spirit world. The Lord God and the tree of life, which is the spirit of consciousness connected to you by blood through evolution, are forcing me against my own consent to intervene in the game now. I really, really did not want to do this, but God forced my hand. I did this since I was concerned we would all die as a society if I don't, and I'm young enough, I'm invested. So again, like the insane delusions of grandeur, he is he's intervening in the game, and he's gonna be, God is forcing his hand. God has singled out him specifically, obviously because he's so special and clever. He says they, and I guess they meaning all of the entities he thinks that he's talked to, they are really worried about you. They can see inside your souls and know you're all miserable. None of you get laid. I think he's doing some projection here. Have babies or have any reason to live or connection to the divine. It causes them so much suffering. They sent me to say everything is going to be fine and that I'm here to be responsible for my people's survival and their soul. Again, off the charts levels of narcissism coming out of this experience with psychedelics and the demonic. I'm here to explain how both the spirit and material worlds work to you in this stressful juncture in evolution. I serve God in the tree of life. What, sir? I don't think that's God that you're serving, buddy. He says, I have 10 hours of video content I've just released explaining what exactly happened to me, what I know of the world, and why modernity is all lies. And what it is a 10 hours like monologue slash autistic manifesto that is, it's like he's talking about hallucinations and ironically referring to himself as empirical, like he believes himself to be like a man of science here. It's all very insane. It is unhinged, and it gets more unhinged as it goes. He says everything your era believes are lies. And he'll speak in the third person, by the way. It gets incredibly bizarre. So when he is saying they or we, he is referring to himself and the entities that he was conferring with. 99% of human history agrees about all this stuff, and modern industrial civilization is the one exception. Get with the program. They're all venerated the divine, and God doesn't take insults lightly. Your bloodline, God, and the spirit world all believe you are completely insane. They see Western civilization is yeeting itself, and the birth rate is in complete free fall, careening towards zero. They have already won, and you haven't realized yet. So he's dooming, but then, of course, he's going to be the thing that is going to intervene to save, all of Western civilization, apparently. He says, I have already established a unified theory of life. The delusions of grandeur, the levels of narcissism it takes to delude yourself into thinking that you have a unified theory of life. You're smarter than everybody else. You basically have God's wisdom. It is just wild. This is wild. It incorporates physics, history, every major world religion, that's how you know it's demonic, biology, Darwinism, Plato, and Aristotle. It sounds like just rambling. Watch the video if you're interested. Your ancestors were correct and you were wrong. I am a proud Christian and I was very... He is not... He just said that he was conferring with the devil and then calls himself a Christian. This is what I mean by it is unhinged. And this is like, it is terrible. I want to do a video on this, not just to like laugh at this guy, because I feel bad for him and I do have some sympathy for him, although this was self-induced. But I don't want this to happen to other people. Like, this is just nuts. He says, I am a proud Christian. I was very careful that nothing I say contradicts the Bible. Yes, it does. So this message can elevate Christ. No, it doesn't. This literally is coming from the demons you conferred with. He says, if I ever do, I will immediately submit to Scripture. My message can be integrated with any given world religion, since I stand for freedom, so that we can all experience the spirit world on our own terms. Do what thou will, I guess. I've been there, and I'll show you how. I am a man who stands for other men. I stand so that men will not be treated as cattle. Like, he stands for all men. He speaks for all men, and he's gonna save them. He says, the meaning of life is empathy. And this is coming from a special boy with main character syndrome. He thinks he knows about empathy. To listen to others and understand them. At the same time, to take responsibility for your own actions. To be an adult and accurately assess your environment with self-awareness. Wow, buddy, self-awareness. To see what you want yourself. To take your own destiny and follow the path God wants for you. He says, there is no irony or joke here. This is all my best attempt at truth. Look, I'm an empiricist, where I just tell you what I read and what I hear from the divine. I challenge anyone to disprove me. I support civil debates to prove me wrong with those who would like to do so. If I'm wrong, I will immediately accept that. I only have 2 requests from you. The first is that you should not bother me or my people. I don't know what he means by this. Every day, I or anyone I'm close to gets personally harassed. I refuse to speak to the divine. He's not going to confer with the demons if you make fun of him. God and the tree are getting really tired of our society's immaturity and will punish this kind of behavior. I really don't want to bother anyone, and I ask the same of you. This is quite stressful for me, so I'd like a moment of calm to think. The second is that all debates and conversations I have must be based in logical first principles. No ideology, hysteria, and foolishness. And it continues. You may wonder, who am I to say this? I am Rudyard William Lynch. I am a 23-year-old ethnic Briton from rural Pennsylvania who lives in Texas now. Like, he's really oversharing and giving highly unnecessary information. He has hiked the Appalachian Trail, ran a club for influencers in Los Angeles, and I run a YouTube channel with millions of independent viewers of a month named Whatifalthist, which talks about history, anthropology, geopolitics, and philosophy. Like, if he's 23 years old, I will eat my hat. He looks like he's 40 years old. And when did he have all of the time to do all of these things? It's pretty wild. Like, what, did he start his channel when he was in high school? It's just crazy. He says, I've lived in half a dozen states, countries, and worked that many different jobs. I've read nearly 1,000 books so far in my life. I am a special boy, and I can draw any country in any year of history from memory on the spot. I also run an organization called the Order of the Crimson Dragon. We are a human capital group which aims at making men as excellent as possible. This is so creepy. He says, we're here to take your son and make him as brave, handsome, smart, charming, skilled, and wealthy as possible. I want to help your 19-year-old son and take responsibility for him. What, are you gonna marry him? Like, what? That sounds so creepy. And it's this coming from somebody who is in the midst of a psychotic break and is experiencing severe delusions of grandeur and is hallucinating. This is just incredible. He says the OCD has 70 the OCD. I love how the acronym for the Order of the Crimson Dragon is OCD, because I think he has a little bit of that. It has 70 members. Oh my god. And I make this video for the 70 members of this organization. Please leave the organization. You are speaking with somebody who is being demonically oppressed, and you don't want to get near that. So they have allegedly have 70 members with multiple in-person locations across the country. Okay. In-person locations meaning what precisely? Do you have offices for this group, like physical addresses? Are you renting warehouse space? Because I'm not believing that. He says, we have members in almost every field, including several celebrities, people from multiple presidential administrations, and genuine intellectuals. We are backed by powerful people in conservative politics, Silicon Valley, and media. I will not share their names since I have class and decency. We have an established leadership and internal management structure that I built very carefully. We have teams working on throwing a conference this spring in Austin, a media company, clubhouse, humanities research center, and spiritual research. We bring sharp young men together, and our goal is to rebuild social institutions around principles of honor, freedom, and truth. For those interested, we are opening to the public in 2 months. That is it. It is an honor to serve. I'm here to help as much as I can. Me, yes. This is just, I've never seen anything like this. This is wild. So it has 70 members and like physical locations across the country with celebrities and people from presidential administrations, but it's just now opening to the public. So it's been like a secret society. This is just like, is absolutely insane. And then he links the videos. Rudyard Life So Far is what they were called. Now he has deleted these tweets. He deleted the videos themselves because he was getting made fun of so much. And then he has the nerve to say, you should be skeptical of me at first, since that's just healthy boundaries, but I'm happy to go on various shows and stuff to show you folks I'm legitimate and have your best interest in mind. Sure you do. Let me know who's interested. I'm the intellectual equivalent of an AR, so feel free to push back on my ideas as much as possible, but please be polite and rational about it. So he's one of those. Oh, rationalism. It's crazy. So this is a condensed version of the over 10 hours that he put out. Basically, it's just stuff like this. So he's just sitting there and he's speaking like in monologue to the camera. Now, this is a condensed version. This is like an hour and 30 minutes. We're not going to watch all of it, but I just want to give you an idea of the kinds of things he was saying and why you never ever want to mess with psychedelics. You do not want to do the ayahuasca. It is never a good thing. People do this and it like gigafries their brain, and then this is like what happens to them. They become convinced that like God has spoken to them, they need to start a new religion, and that they're super special. It's crazy.
Everybody, I'm Rudyard the Whatifalthist guy, and before you watch this video, I have to add a couple different preambles for all of our collective sanity.
So you can get an idea right off the bat that he's a special boy. Just the way he talks, the delusional confidence in his tone that, like, he, I'm sure, believes the stuff he's saying. That doesn't make it true.
You'll see why. Firstly, there's lots of stuff in this video where, as I wrote it, I didn't know how, because human words cannot convey it. And the way I feel giving you this video is I'm trying to explain something that cannot be explained in words, which is intensely difficult. And so when I try to tell you something, I wish I could show it to you, but I have to write words. Certain parts of the story will make me, in the way it's narrated, look like a complete narcissistic egomaniac.
Because you are, when you're having this manic episode or whatever this is.
I apologize for that. But again, it will make sense at the end.
It does not make sense at the end. It actually gets crazier and crazier.
I, Rudyard William Lynch, was born on June 23rd, 2001, in Manchester by the Sea, Massachusetts.
The entire thing is narcissistic because it's literally 10 hours straight of you talking about yourself and giving people information that was unsolicited. Nobody asked to know this stuff. Nobody wanted to know this stuff. And just by the way, to save people trouble, this is not a Carlos Castaneda novel, okay? Do not do the psychedelics. You're not Carlos Castaneda. You're not going to become a Yaqui Indian or whatever. You're not going to become a shaman. It's just not happening.
To my parents and less. Our current era of...
So he just, like, it's insufferable, so I'm not going to listen to all of it, but we'll just go past some of this. He makes crazy allegations about his family, and I'm sure that he is somebody who experienced childhood abuse. That's very obvious.
A funny story here is that when my mother told my grandmother that she was going to marry a Irish Catholic Republican, my grandmother said, who's very left-wing, she said, "Oh, you know, are you sure he'll want to have children? They're not like us, you know."
It's just like he's just saying a lot.
Be a revolution against the rich. And then she went through a Wicca phase, a Christian fundamentalist phase, and by the time I graduated high school, she was a far-right borderline fascist.
He's talking about his mother.
She wanted America to be a WASP ethno-state where she believed the Jews, the banks, and the Catholics were destroying America. Along with the teachers, which I thought was impossible because I was so combative.
Oh, really?
When I was in 4th grade, one of the teachers saw a map I made, and she said, "Rudyard, you're going to be famous when you grow up." Culture of the area I grew up in,
Okay, that happened. I'm sure that actually happened.
Chester County at the time was called God, Guns, and Horses. And over time, it became more left-wing, and it got pacified. And the way to see the Northeast is that in Pennsylvania is you got to...
Okay, so he's just rambling here.
I learned all this leftist social constructionist propaganda, but she was happy to have me argue the point back to the class because she said me arguing against the point forced the class to get their arguments better. And so for my final essay for it, I wrote about why I thought we shouldn't have gender relativity, and she gave me a 99%. I got...
Oh my goodness. He's just rambling.
That summer of 2020 is when I made the shift to the anthropology, history, and geopolitics content that I make now. I met the man who would become my right-hand man, business manager, and best friend in March of 2020. Merrick Wright was a 21-year-old guy from Boston who was unemployed, from a homeschooled working class...
Like, who needs to know any of this?
Where he's read over 300 books on banking history.
Okay, so... he's talking about his father here, and it's just absolute insanity.
Maybe the person in the world who's read the most banking history. And so growing up, he would explain Marxist lies to me. "I'm sorry, I love you, Dad, but you have very strong Asperger's." My father...
It's not just him. It's you too.
crippling mercury poisoning when he inseminated me.
What? What?
Which nearly killed him. He would leave me at home for weeks when he was on business trips for work and expected me to take care of the house. Now we get to my mom's side of the family, and there's an interesting detail here that my great-grandma was kind of a hoe.
Oh my god. This is like nobody asked him to do this.
And that she was sleeping with two men. Mom forced me to be born with a midwife around 4 a.m. since she believed hospitals killed the spirit of a child.
So this is what happens when you have been severely abused as a child, when you have a schizophrenic mother who is also a narcissist. This is the result of that. And then, you know, he already has sort of like a predisposition for schizophrenia. He does the psychedelics, and this is the result. This is demonically induced. And he also talks about his mother doing black magic
Through how they birthed children. And she also forced me to get no vaccines as a kid since she believed they were dangerous to spiritual development. My mom would literally make moonshine in the garage, and my mom was kicked in the head by a horse.
This is one of the wildest claims. I don't know if this is true or not. If it is, I feel very bad for her. Maybe that's why she was as awful as she was. I don't know.
And I just assumed my mom was dead for the next 2 days. And she was brain dead. After she nearly died, said that she had visited God. She said that God had forced her to come back to help people.
Well, ironically, this is exactly what he says happened to him during his experience with the ayahuasca. He confers with many entities, one of which he calls Odin, and he believes that it has given him a mission and that he is being forced against his will to like make the world a better place. It's so bizarre.
This resulted in her immediately divorcing my father. She claimed that my dad was an alcoholic who was beating her and my sister and me. There's literally no evidence for this at all. However,
Oh my God.
mom is a literal schizophrenic. My mom really
Yeah, well, I think you are too, buddy.
spiraled with getting kicked in the head by a horse. She had issues beforehand, and then it became magnified. And her entire life since that has been a downward spiral towards greater and greater madness.
Okay, so we can see maybe what's going on here.
My mom said that God had told her the best way she could help human history was by torturing me.
This is the kind of things that he's talking about. It's just insane, and it gets worse and worse
Right, when I had a
as
panic
it goes
attack, 'cause
on.
I hear the sound crackling in my ears. And it's just, I can't overstate how horrible it is. I needed so many EMDRs to heal from this. My mom would
He's talking about EDMR therapy.
claim to own me and my soul and
Don't
gave
do
me
it.
no privacy. She would walk in on me in the shower and
Oh my gosh, nobody needs to know this. It's like it's just crazy.
heal from with yeah, my mom would
He says Odin healed his PTSD.
also by holding down my legs, and she would force me to do other really horrible things.
So he goes on to allege that his mother has SA'd him, that she waterboarded him and tortured him and forced him to SA his sister. And I'm saying, like, this is really dark stuff. I don't believe all of this happened, but I do believe something happened to him as a child. That's for sure.
Is I can get lots of women who I can sleep with.
I'm gonna say no. No, that's just not a thing. I need to see some evidence of this because I am not buying it. Sorry, sir, I don't believe you.
It's stuff like this people get super sensitive about because there's a degree of envy and there's a degree of are you lying? But yeah, my thing is it's relatively easy for me to get women to sleep with.
Sure thing.
And I've had multiple times in the past where I've gone out with girls for longer than a short period. But I'm just not in a place where just the passive quality of
I'm sorry, but who is believing this, sir? Who do you think that you are fooling? I don't think anybody watching you is buying this story.
person, like, do you not lie? Are you nice to me? Do you treat me with respect? And then two relatively attractive women sat down in the seat next to me, and they were surrounded by the Harvard Comedy Club. And they were trolling me. And this is why Northeasterners have no manners. What they did was objectively rude and not cool. But they were trying to mock me and berate me. And they open your bag, kid. Because I use...
Yeah, okay, this happened, right. So this group of people and these two beautiful women just approached him at a comedy club and said, "Open your bag, kid."
Mexican artisanal bags. I use leather artisanal Mexican bags.
Artisanal leather?
So I showed them the bag, like, who are you? I told them about my life. I told them what the stuff I had done, about all those things. And they were super impressed at the end. They started out with roasting me.
They were super impressed by the end. Okay, I bet they were.
And then at the end, they were congratulating me because I was showing them how I was carrying an Esteban cigar, which is one of my favorite brands, next to JFC Fuller's History of Western Warfare, next to the leather bag.
This is
and with each
insanity.
story, I was telling them more about my life.
This did not happen. This is nonsense.
Like, open your bag, kid. And this is why Northeasterners have no...
Open your bag, kid.
And at the end, they said, "We're so glad we were in a timeline where we got to meet you."
At no point did that ever happen.
And I thought Harvard would have a lot of cool talent, but everyone there was lame. Where
everyone was lame.
We, Merrick and I, we were hanging out at the dorm, and we just grabbed the bottle of vodka. And my thing is, I drink a double shot of vodka whenever I start drinking to loosen myself up.
Oh my god.
And the kid's like, "No, you can't have our vodka." And like, we'll pay you for the vodka. And they said no. And then the guys didn't like that I was staying with her. And so they tried to kick me out of the dorm with this arbitrary meeting. Like, you have...
This did not happen. And he's talking to nobody. This is him sitting in front of a computer just spewing, just oversharing, going into this insane autistic detail about things that probably never happened. I can't imagine. And he's doing this for hours. This is like a 3-hour video of him just sitting there spurging to the camera and giving his advice.
The future of the right philosophically should be.
Oh, this is great. Okay, we have to talk about Odin.
These men can't do shit. They can't run a brewery, let alone run a country. How are they going to fight in war? How are they going to lead companies? How are they going to lead men? How are they going to invent technology?
Because you do all these things, right? Because you're the one leading the way here, huh, buddy?
Manifesto for the New Right. That was dictated.
Okay, his manifesto. He's talking about his manifesto. This is a video he put out. It was apparently dictated to him by the demons.
Dictated me by God. And God...
It was not dictated to him by God. That's not true.
Told me that I should integrate science, Christianity, and Darwinism into a single coherent theory.
This is blasphemy and heretical nonsense.
Been regularly communicating with God about what he believes the future of the right philosophically should be.
No. Yeah, because God is sitting here going, "Hey, let's confer philosophically, me and this random human, with the philosophy of the right-wing politics," because that's what God cares about, right, is politics. This is so insane, but he has been regularly communing with something and communicating with it. It's just not God. Remember that the devil often appears as an angel of light.
And this is what I'm about to feed you in this video is the best attempt. Think of how many people communism killed. That being more than every other ideology in history combined, as Matthew White, the greatest expert on this topic, pointed out.
The greatest expert on this topic.
Communism was there to kill all religion, and we are here to enable all religions. Our goal is to...
Okay, so that is explicitly against Christianity. This is ecumenical nonsense.
Save as many lives and help as many people as communism has hurt. Please help.
Oh, they're gonna help millions of people? Really?
Us in achieving our goal. I was praying to God to end my suffering for like the 10,000th time, and God did reply this time. However, it was a different God than the ones I spoke to before.
The ones you spoke to before, you have never been speaking to God. You have always been conferring with demons, sir, and your life has gotten worse, not better, because of it.
This was the Norse god Odin. I will later explain to you over the course of this video why me communing with a pagan god does not count as heresy.
He legitimately said this. This is the levels of delusions of grandeur that this demonically induced schizo meltdown has profited for us.
He said my PTSD was a tool for him, and I had already completed the task he asked me to do.
He's talking about Odin, who he thinks he's talking to.
He said that he had cleaned me out of my PTSD. There'd be some ups and downs, but it was basically over.
No, I think you still have it, and I think you're having some kind of manic episode and psychotic break because of the psychedelics.
And that was right. This happened like 3 months ago, and my PTSD's gotten so much better. Thank you for healing me of PTSD. I prayed for you thousands of times to do this, and thank you so much.
This is so sad, actually, and when you hear him, like, you can literally hear the demon inside him. This is like he literally was calling upon the demonic and getting himself involved in whatever he's getting involved in with the psychedelics, opening himself up to demonic influence. And look at the toll it's taken on him while he delusionally thinks that he is, you know, being healed of his trauma and his PTSD. The demon is literally destroying his mind and his life.
I'm just gonna keep thanking you in front of this audience to demonstrate how grateful I am. You don't understand. He said that he had been using me and that I'd already done most of the work he wanted me to do.
The demon has already been using him. So I kind of have to wonder, you know, he talks about how the demon he was talking to when he thought he was talking to God dictated his Manifesto video. The demons are now writing manifestos. I mean, how many of his other YouTube videos were, you know, demonically influenced and inspired? That's so creepy.
He said that I didn't have to worry anymore and the rest of my life would be a lot easier. Your duty is to find the best spirit and marry it and serve it and be nice to it.
He's talking about marrying spirits now.
And treat it with respect and compassion.
You better treat the spirit with respect and compassion, sir. You were just talking to demons.
So, the spirit world is both very complex but also very simple. Odin is both a messenger and lord of life. Odin uses different
What? No, it's just a demon.
lowercase gods, or in the Christian tradition, angels, to provide certain roles. In Odin's case, responsibility for Darwinistic evolution and being a messenger for God. If you read the Bible, you find it doesn't say other
Absolute
lowercase gods
insanity.
don't exist. And Odin says he really likes the Christians, which is why he forced his people, the Nordics, to convert to Christianity to make them stronger.
What? This is utter nonsense. And it's just like, what goes through somebody's mind that they're going to sit here and deliver this in a serious tone to a computer screen and then upload it on the internet? And he talked about having like a business partner and a manager. Well, do these people not screen his videos before he uploads them? Who thought allowing this was going to be a good idea?
When I say Rudyard is founding a religion, I mean something along the lines of communism, Confucianism, or Taoism.
And once again, speaking about himself in the third person,
which is a philosophy of moral conduct. You should perceive whatever Rudyard's doing as anti-communism.
This whole part of the monologue he delivers in the third person, like he thinks that he is Odin and talking about himself now. So just to put that out there, he has slipped into a different personality. This personality is Odin. And mind you, it's all demons. He's talking to a demon, but he is going into a different personality, the Odin personality, and then talking about himself.
This
in the third person. It is insane.
religion is meant to be the inverse of communism, and so if you don't consider communism to be a religion, then this isn't a religion. I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but to give you good advice.
What?
We're gardeners who want the world to grow into a stunningly beautiful forest. We love you, the animals, the trees, and the spirits more than we could ever say.
This is so creepy.
There's no worshiping here. You will still be here to revere the Christian gods with your heart and souls. Sorry, you will still be here to revere the Christian God with your heart and soul. Go to church, pray to Christ, and all that. Yahweh is also my Lord, so I do this too.
So he has multiple quote-unquote gods that he serves. Absolute insanity. Like nothing good comes from doing psychedelics, guys.
With Yahweh. Yahweh is a good guy, to say the least. However, to a god, you mortals all appear as the worst kind of woman.
You stupid mortals.
You appear silly, childish, irresponsible, and ungrateful.
Silly, ungrateful mortals.
Thus, it goes without saying that your god did an act of stunning kindness to you against a brutal, uncaring, Darwinistic universe. You should always thank others when they're kind to you.
Do you see that this was just like hours of this utter and complete insanity, and it actually gets worse.
I feel like we've built up enough connection after 6 hours that I can share stuff like this with you, and...
You haven't, though. You shouldn't be sharing this with anybody on the internet. You should be seeking a priest.
I thought it was kind of weird when Odin said it, but he had healed my PTSD.
No, he didn't. He was demonically messing with you.
So, I'll do what he says. You don't understand.
So he is doing what the demons say.
How much I love God, both Yahweh and Odin, for healing my PTSD. This might be too much information.
This entire thing has been too much information.
But we're past that stage.
We're past that stage, guys. Yeah, this has been hours and hours of him literally just speaking non-stop, hardly pausing to breathe. And the funniest part about this is that he obviously has typed a bunch of this stuff up. You can see he's sitting there kind of reading from something he's typed up and then adding his additional thoughts. But it's like he took the time to write all of this crap up and then sit here and record this. Here it gets even crazier.
Okay, kid. You were asking me for any reason to live, any reason to have energy. You feel lethargic. This sheet shows you very clearly care about something. So why don't you do it? He said, Rudyard, I know you don't get laid enough. I like your...
This is what the demon said to him.
...your genetics. I would really like you to get laid more. And he said, okay, Rudyard, you're the hero of the f***ing story.
You're the hero of the story. Of course you are, because you're a special boy.
Why didn't you think you were? Your parents gave you such a pointlessly heroic name of Rudyard William Lynch. I know your backstory. We watched this video. You're a f***ing hero, kid.
You're a hero, kid. This is what the demons are telling him. They just fill your head with nonsense, and this is, you're literally seeing the demon of pride.
Be a f***ing hero. Be a hero for your people and save them. I've been trying to get the plot to get here. You finally got here. Thank you, Rudyard. So be a f***ing hero. Your women would show some gratitude if you were a hero. So be a f***ing hero. And he said, look, kid.
Look, kid. Listen, you little shit.
This sheet is a contract, and it shows that your body is controlled by life. Your soul is controlled by Yahweh, and your body is controlled by the life force. This is why you can't stop yourself from sexually fantasizing and masturbating.
Oh my god!
Because your life is trying to propagate, which is its natural endpoint. Oh, the horror. You're thinking about making sure your species survives.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
You should see your life is as if you were put naked in a bed with a cute other naked redhead.
What?
If you were put there, you would have fun with her, right? And Odin said this is how you should perceive life.
So you should perceive life as you being put in a bed with two naked women?
How we put you in front of the redhead, and we, as in the spirits, God, your ancestors, the social context of your society.
What? Literal nonsense.
Puts you in a place so that you can enjoy life.
This is your mind on psychedelics and demons.
It's the culture's responsibility to do this. The era when a species first attains godlike power, but lacks the wisdom to use it properly. And this
Properly, like, actually, like, that is him. He is the meme. He is the meme.
is something that every species that hits this level archetypically has to deal with. And we're
Archetypically has to deal with.
really proud of you as humans, because from what I've heard, we hit this 100,000
He's talking, he is, like, this is literally the demon speaking through him, talking about itself.
years earlier than what they expected, mostly due to the
In his mind, of course.
technological innovation that came out of Europe from Greece onwards. And so the gods are really, really happy we did this, and they're really, really sorry and have more empathy than you could ever understand for our condition. They see us as teenagers now. We have to learn to grow and find our own way in the world.
Holy cow. He just goes on and on and on.
Sent to you by your bloodline, which is why I work for Odin, since he is the genetic king of my people, the Britons.
Sure thing.
I speak to your blood.
Sure
I know
is.
that you know that the things I am saying are true, since we can sense your blood. Your ancestors are really trying to help you here, and I am their gift.
Whoa. Whoa. Your ancestors are helping you here. He is absolutely insane.
Society has created an enormous psychic wall against all spiritual influence.
Whoa.
This was what your priest class, or scientists and professors, have been doing for centuries, since their self-interest is to deny every other form of magic except theirs.
So profound.
Magic is the ability to turn a symbol into change in the material world. It obviously exists.
It obviously exists.
Examples of magic are coding, the scientific method, electricity, medicine, religion, culture, writing, the nation, and philosophy.
It's all magic, guys. Everything is all magic.
Are all different kinds of magic. What your society did was saying that magic that worked is called science, and magic that didn't work is magic, thus magic isn't real by definition.
So this just reminds me of, like, the people who would channel demons and the kinds of stuff that they would channel from the entities. Like, this is the level of what this is.
Debate me to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong why I just didn't kill your god. None of you can beat me since you're just wrong.
He starts calling himself the God Killer, I swear.
Every single underlying premise in your world is incorrect. I killed your false god, and none of you can stop me because he never really lived.
Whoa. The delusions of grandeur. Like I said, on an industrial scale, like industrial grade, utter delusions.
I already won. The more you wriggle against my triangle, the more the triangle brings you in and it crashes you, because the more you fight against me, the more everyone else realize you're liars.
Sure thing. I know I shouldn't be laughing at it, but this is legitimately one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, I'm right. You can feel it in your blood. You enjoy squirming, don't you, because you know you're such a worthless loser. You know you're a pathetic weakling who betrayed everything that really mattered, or your god, your blood, your honor, and your people.
You pathetic worm. You hold no candle to me, sir.
I won because I said so. I'm not sure
I won because I said so.
I'm completely correct, but I am completely sure that you are incorrect to the highest degree.
That's the mindset of a special boy in a nutshell.
You can't ignore this. I won. You know that already. I can see reality in more dimensions than you can. I can
see reality in more dimensions than you can. I am superior. I am the Chad.
Surrounded your position. Every single move you make from this point as the modernist materialist left makes you weaker. Every single move you make from this point on hurts you more. Enjoy your last moments as a religion. I killed the god my mother served. He had no
He did it single-handedly, guys.
idea what he was even doing, but you have
We all owe Sire here a great debt of gratitude, my lord.
to respect the balls for a 23-year-old to do it. He
He's still saying he's 23.
has basically rearranged how you process consciousness against your own consent. You cannot believe the old lies even if you want to now. You know when you are sold that they are false. This video itself is a kill switch on your entire process of current consciousness.
This entire video is just, it's the kill switch on your consciousness. I am impactful.
This young man is a hero among heroes.
I am a hero among heroes. He's still referring to himself in the third person and as a young man, just a young man of 23.
Your society has treated him like utter garbage. This is why your people are dying. You can judge the health of a people and a nation based off how they treat their heroes. If you are mean
Which, of course, is him. He is the hero. Duh, idiot.
to this young man from now on, you are cursed.
And if you are mean to this young 23-year-old handsome man, you are cursed, bucko. Better go clean your room.
Please have some respect. Treat him like a fucking person. That's the only thing we ask. Don't hurt Rudyard for these messages. He's just a person we raped and whose life we hijacked.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. This is terrible.
And he tried to do the right thing. If you don't like this, blame Odin, not him.
If you don't like this, you blame Odin. Yeah, buddy, we are blaming the demons.
Enjoy your god killer responsibly. He's yours. Have some fun when you're at it. I like this kid a lot. Please be nice to him. Argue all you want, debate all you want. I just can't stand rudeness in underhanded or dishonorable tactics.
Just don't be dishonorable or underhanded. Wow. Okay, buddy.
Any government or organization which hurts the god killer, harasses him in public or his friends or his family or in his home, will be destroyed and cursed by the tree of life within a single generation. He does
If you make fun of him, the tree of life is going to curse you, and it's going to happen within an entire generation. Within one generation, the curse be upon you and your posterity.
doesn't want to hurt you or cause any trouble, so there's no reason to test this. Just leave him alone. The cracking of the
Just leave Brittany alone.
self-other distinction into realizing we are all connected and everything is one and yet the same and yet nothing and yet other things.
Yeah, this is what happens when your brain has been fried by psychedelics and when you allow the demonic into your life. You become a delusional, rambling person like this who suffers a schizophrenic break from reality and has a complete and utter meltdown and believes that you are being called by God and Odin to start a religion, recruit young men, and make them, quote, excellent, so you can be responsible for them. Picking the age of 19, very interesting as well.
Is the origin of the Age of Aquarius. The Age of Aquarius has officially started.
The Age of Aquarius has officially started.
Welcome to the Age of Aquarius, mother. Odin was very attached to that sentence. He kept on trying to get me to say it like you guys
Yeah, Odin made him say it.
have to watch this. I have to live this.
This is where it gets even crazier.
That video you saw came out of my mind. I am not a crazy person.
X'd out, buddy.
I am not an evil person, but that video came out of my mind. Do you understand that? I am so deeply resentful and so deeply angry at feeling completely used by the universe.
Yeah, we can tell, buddy. We can tell.
Don't get it. You can't understand. You cannot understand what I've just lived through. You just can't. I don't know what to tell you. It's infuriating. And so I negotiated my contract with the gods.
He negotiated his contract with the gods. He's talking to demons.
And So part of the contract is I have to voice my emotional state having to do this for you. I never consented to it. This was forced on me. And so the next segment of this story is just me voicing my immense resentment of you and how much I hated doing all of this. Because
so he hates his audience, that's what he's saying, and just regular people, because he feels like the gods have apparently chosen him to be the savior of Western civilization, and you're all idiots.
I'm the 23-year-old who's supposed to do this. I was in high school 6 years ago.
X to doubt.
This isn't cool. Fuck yourself. I shouldn't have done this. What the is wrong with you people to make a mortal do this? What
to make a mortal do this?
So, because I just want to have able to kill someone with my weapon in case someone hurts me. I also...
Oh, so unfortunately he is armed.
Collect. I got 2 guns. I got an assault rifle, and I got the pistol. The one that you... I'm forgetting the exact name. It's a good pistol. This is a Roman spatha.
Oh my god.
This is too heavy. 1600s English backsword. This is holistically the best sword.
Holistically, this is the best sword, actually.
These were called murder weapons in the early modern period. So this is a Russian cavalry saber, 19th century era. This is a Celtic longsword. This is a Bowie knife. Finally.
Holy cow.
This is my Crusader longsword. This final thing I collect.
Wow.
God, I wish I could show you the nudes. They're nice, but there's certain lines I don't want to cross now because I
Unreal.
I have boundaries, and
he has boundaries? Really?
I understand this is intimidating for you.
Yes, this is intimidating for you, you pleb.
Let me drink another cup of kratom. God.
Oh my gosh, this gets even crazier. He's chugging kratom.
I might need more CBD.
And he's on CBD, he took the ayahuasca, he's probably on some kind of stimulant, and he is drinking from an octopus mug. Gross.
You know, you guys fuck yourselves, right?
Oh, wow. Listen to the disgusting, chugging, gargling sounds of it. Ew. This is literally the demon that you're seeing. It needs to ingest the demon needs to ingest the kratom for whatever reason. It probably helps the possession more.
You know, I'm not crazy. Because if a sane person lived through what I just showed you, this would be their reaction. It
Oh my god.
would break a crazy person. I am here showing you how beautiful my octopus mug is.
So that's how we know he's not crazy.
Over the course of this video, and especially with the last month, I'm pretty sure I'm some kind of psychic.
Or the special boy narcissism.
That's the only way any of this makes any sense. I didn't think that. I was stuck in the normie rationalist brain. I didn't think I was some wizard lord. What the fuck does that even mean?
So he now believes himself to be a wizard lord.
I'm trying my best. I'm an empiricist. I am empirically telling you what
I'm a wizard lord.
Have heard from the spirit world. I'm empirically telling you this crap. Because I don't fucking know. I don't know if any of this shit's true.
This is sad. This is sad. He is cooked.
Life. I'm a fucking kid. I'm barely a teenager.
I'm barely a teenager. Buddy, let's be honest here. I think you're almost 40.
Remember when I was in high school, and that's so recent. I've changed so much since high school. I thought I was a fucking nerdy kid. I thought I was a weirdo and nerdy and a loser.
You are, sir.
And now here we are. I'm talking to God, and
I'm talking to God.
I'm giving you a message. And I never asked for this. This was shit that was fucking shoved on me because I love you, but I also really, really hate you.
Wow. So I think that's where we should end this. It does get more unhinged than this, but I think that you see and you get the message. While we are laughing and joking about this and making light of it, it is very serious. At the end of the day, the demons have probably destroyed this guy's life, like in the ayahuasca as well, of course. The psychedelics have literally fried his brain, and I don't think he's, going to be the same person ever again. So the warning to you guys is to never engage with the occult or do psychedelics. This is the end result of it, and it's every single time. This is what you're looking at, and it's not pretty. All right, guys, that's it. I hope you all have a good day. Bye.